Hi everybody. Today's how-to video is on upgrading Helios camera firmware. As you can see, I've already started Internet Explorer and connected to the camera's homepage. From here, expand the Setup menu on the left-hand side and click on the Upgrade button. On the right-hand side of the Upgrade page, you'll see the current software version in the camera. And there's two components to the firmware. There's both camera firmware and web interface firmware. When you receive firmware from us, you'll get two separate files, one for upgrading the camera firmware and then another file for upgrading the web server. And also make a note of the model series. We want to make sure you're uploading camera firmware that corresponds to your particular camera. Down beneath the information area, you'll see two separate upgrade sections. Firmware Upgrade is for updating the camera firmware, and then right beneath it will be the web interface upgrade section for updating the web server. We always want to do the camera firmware first. So let's start by clicking the Browse button under Firmware Upgrade. And from here, navigate to where you have the files saved on your hard drive. And you can see here, I have 3960 HD firmware and web server firmware. And we're going to double click on the camera firmware, which will take us back to the upgrade page. And simply from here, click the Start Upgrade button. Now this will push the firmware out to the camera. You'll see some on-screen messages, and after a couple minutes, you'll see a message saying firmware upgrade complete or successful. After that, give it a couple more minutes, the camera will reboot, and then reconnect to the camera's home page, and again click the Setup Upgrade button, which will take you right back here, and then do the web server update. And head down to the web interface upgrade section, click on the Browse button. Now double click on the web server firmware that you have saved, and now simply again click the Start Web Upgrade, which will push the web server firmware out to the camera. In a minute or two, you'll see a message back from the camera letting you know the web upgrade is complete. Another minute or two later, you should be able to connect to the camera's home page and start streaming video again. I hope this helps. Thanks very much.